Hello friends! We are glad to welcome you to our channel. Have you ever wondered if your four-legged friend is happy? We often attribute human emotions to dogs, but how can you really determine if your pet is content with its life? Today, we will dive into the fascinating world of canine emotions and tell you about 7 reliable signs that will help you make sure your dog is truly happy. This information is invaluable for anyone who wants to build a deep and harmonious connection with their pet. If you care about the well-being of your four-legged friend, subscribe to our channel right now and turn on notifications so you don't miss new episodes full of useful tips and discoveries from the world of pets. Before we move on to the main signs of happiness in dogs, let's understand how canine emotions work. Modern science tells us that dogs experience a wide range of feelings. Although different from human ones, they have basic emotions, joy, fear, anger, disgust, but they experience them differently than we do. Dogs live in the here and now. Their emotional life is closely connected to the current moment and immediate surroundings. That is why it is so important to learn how to properly read their signals. This will allow you to better understand your pet and provide them with a comfortable and happy life. Interestingly, dogs have evolved alongside humans for more than 15,000 years, and during this time, they have developed a unique ability to interact with us on an emotional level. Research shows that dogs and humans have similar hormonal responses during positive interaction. Both experience increased levels of oxytocin, the hormone of attachment and trust. This indicates the deep emotional bond that forms between a human and a dog. Now, let's move on to the first and perhaps most obvious sign of a happy dog: relaxed body language. A happy dog moves freely, without tension. Its muscles are relaxed, tail is in a neutral position or slightly raised. Head is not lowered, shoulders are not tense. Pay attention to your pet's gait. A happy dog walks smoothly, with ease, as if bouncing. Its body seems to say, "I feel safe. I am comfortable in this environment." Special attention should be paid to the position of the tail. Contrary to popular belief, a wagging tail does not always indicate joy. It's important how exactly the dog wags it. Wide, free tail wags, especially when the whole body is involved in the movement, really indicate joy and excitement. But quick, tense tail movements, especially if it is raised high, may indicate alertness or even aggression. A happy dog's tail is usually positioned at medium height and moves effortlessly. Facial expression is another key to understanding canine happiness. A dog content with life has relaxed facial muscles. Mouth may be slightly open, creating the impression of a dog's smile. Eyes are soft, not wide open with fear or squinted with tension. Ears are in a neutral position, appropriate for the breed. Some dogs really know how to smile, raising the corners of their lips, but this is more of a learned behavior, a reaction to positive feedback from humans, rather than a direct sign of happiness. Speaking of eyes, have you ever noticed how your dog's gaze changes when looking at a loved one? Scientists have discovered that when looking at their owner, dogs activate the same part of the brain that in humans is responsible for positive emotions and attachment. And during prolonged eye contact between a human and a dog, both experience increased levels of oxytocin, the very hormone of love. So your pet's calm, soft gaze is not only a sign of its happiness, but also an expression of the special bond between you. The second sure sign of a happy dog is good appetite and healthy sleep. A happy dog enjoys eating and sleeps soundly and peacefully. Stress, anxiety, and discomfort often manifest in appetite and sleep disturbances. If your pet enthusiastically greets feeding time, calmly eats its portion, and can then rest serenely, curled up or stretched out full length, that's a good sign. Pay attention to the sleeping position. A dog sleeping on its back, with an exposed belly and sprawled legs, demonstrates the highest degree of trust and relaxation. This position makes the animal vulnerable, and a dog only adopts it when feeling completely safe. If your pet often sleeps in this position, you can be sure it trusts you and its environment, and this is an important component of canine happiness. Healthy dog sleep lasts on average from 12 to 14 hours a day, with puppies and elderly dogs sleeping more. Sleep quality is just as important as quantity. If a dog frequently twitches, whimpers in sleep, or constantly changes position, this may be a sign of discomfort or pain. A happy and healthy dog usually sleeps peacefully, sometimes accompanying sleep with funny leg twitches or quiet barking. These are normal manifestations of dreams. The third sign of a happy dog is playfulness and energy. The desire to play is one of the most reliable indicators of well-being in dogs. A happy dog willingly engages in games, initiates play itself by bringing toys or adopting a characteristic pose with lowered front and raised back, the famous bow. This pose is universal in the dog world and means an invitation to play. Energy, of course, depends on the age, breed, and individual characteristics of the dog. A Jack Russell Terrier and a Pug will show their playfulness differently, but general enthusiasm for activities appropriate to their temperament and physical capabilities is a sure sign that the dog is content with life. Greeting rituals are especially indicative. If, when returning home, you see a dog that happily runs to you, wags its tail, possibly brings a toy, or circles with excitement, you can be sure your pet is happy to see you. And a happy meeting with the owner is one of the main indicators of the dog's overall well-being. The fourth sign is social openness. Happy dogs usually demonstrate a healthy interest in the surrounding world. They enjoy meeting new people and animals, if properly socialized, exploring new places and objects. Of course, the degree of sociability can vary greatly depending on breed and character. Some dogs are naturally more independent and reserved, but even they should show a basic interest in their surroundings and not demonstrate constant fear or aggression. Pay attention to your dog's behavior during walks. A happy dog actively explores the territory, sniffs new objects with interest, readily goes to meet other dogs if accustomed to socialization. The tail is usually raised, ears pointed forward. The dog's whole appearance expresses curiosity and involvement in the process. Research shows that dogs, like humans, have individual preferences in communication. Some prefer active games with their own kind, others prefer calm interaction with humans. It's important to understand the social needs of your particular dog and create opportunities for their realization. A dog that regularly receives the type of social contact suitable for it is usually more balanced and happy. The fifth sign of a happy dog is a positive reaction to training. A healthy dog, content with life, enjoys learning new things, especially if the learning process is built on positive reinforcement. It shows interest in training, quickly engages in the process, and genuinely enjoys interacting with the owner during sessions. It's important to understand that learning for dogs is not just mastering commands, but also a form of mental stimulation that they need just as much as physical activity. Dogs are intelligent animals that need work for their brain. Many behavioral problems arise precisely due to lack of mental stimulation when a dog is simply bored. If your dog enthusiastically responds to training sessions, quickly engages in work, demonstrates obvious pleasure from the process, and achieved results, that's a good sign. Such behavior indicates that it is mentally healthy, interested in communicating with you, and receives enough stimulation for its active mind. The sixth sign of a happy dog is appropriate behavior at home. A happy and balanced dog usually does not exhibit destructive behavior in the house. It doesn't chew furniture, howl from boredom or anxiety when left alone, or overreact to common household irritants like the doorbell or noise from household appliances. Of course, each dog may have its own behavioral characteristics related to breed or individual character. Some breeds are more vocal, others more energetic and require more physical activity. But in general, a happy dog whose needs are met behaves calmly and appropriately at home. Special attention should be paid to the dog's behavior when it is left alone. If after you leave, your pet calmly goes about its business, sleeps, plays with toys, or just rests, rather than howling, being hyperactive, or showing signs of separation anxiety, it means it feels safe and comfortable even in your absence. This is an important indicator of overall psychological well-being. And finally, the seventh, perhaps most important sign of a happy dog, the desire for contact with the owner. Dogs are social animals, and for most of them, relationships with humans are a central aspect of life. A happy dog seeks interaction with you, enjoys your attention, strives to be near. This manifests in different ways. The dog may bring you toys, initiate play, approach for affection, simply lie nearby when you rest, or carefully observe your actions. What matters is not the quantity of contact, but its quality and voluntariness. A dog that seeks interaction rather than avoids it demonstrates healthy attachment. Interestingly, dogs, according to many researchers, are the only animals that respond to humans as naturally as they do to their own kind. Moreover, some dogs even prefer human company to that of other dogs. This is the result of thousands of years of joint evolution and domestication during which dogs developed a unique ability to understand human emotions and communicative signals. Now, let's talk about some additional nuances that will help you better understand your dog's emotional state. Pay attention to its vocalization. Happy dogs usually don't bark excessively without reason. Of course, there are breeds that are naturally more talkative, but in general, constant causeless barking can be a sign of stress, anxiety, or boredom. On the other hand, many dogs make special sounds when they feel good, something between growling and moaning, a kind of purring. These sounds can often be heard when a dog is comfortably settled in its place or when you pet it in particularly pleasant spots. This is a direct vocal sign of pleasure and relaxation. Another important aspect is skin and coat health. A dog's emotional state directly affects its physical health. A happy dog not subjected to chronic stress usually has healthy skin without irritations and healthy, shiny coat. Excessive licking, biting its own skin, hot spots, and other skin problems can be signs of not only physical discomfort but also psychological distress. Pay attention to your dog's eating behavior. Happy dogs usually eat with appetite but without excessive greed or, conversely, indifference to food. Sharp changes in eating behavior, refusal to eat, or, on the contrary, excessive food consumption may indicate problems with physical or emotional health. It's also important to understand that needs and expressions of happiness may differ depending on the dog's age. Puppies are usually more energetic and require more physical activity and training. Middle-aged dogs are already calmer but still need regular physical and mental exercise. Elderly dogs value comfort, stability, and gentle attention. Their energy may decrease, but this doesn't mean they are less happy, just that their needs and ways of expressing pleasure change. Interestingly, some dog breeds have their own peculiarities in expressing emotions. For example, dogs with snub noses, such as pugs or bulldogs, may have less expressive facial features due to the structure of their skull. Greyhounds rarely wag their tails as energetically as Labradors or Golden Retrievers, and Huskies and other northern breeds are known for their independence and may not show such obvious attachment to humans as, for example, Toy Terriers or Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. It's important to consider these breed characteristics when assessing your dog's emotional state. Separately, I want to mention the importance of balance between physical activity and rest. Different breeds have different movement needs. Working breeds, such as Border Collies or Australian Shepherds, require significantly more physical and mental exercise than, say, Pekingese or Pugs. A happy dog is one whose activity needs are met, but who also has enough time for rest and recovery. Overexertion is just as harmful to canine happiness as lack of stimulation. It's also worth noting the role of routine in canine happiness. Dogs are creatures of habit. They are comfortable when life is predictable. Regular feeding times, walks, games, and sleep create a sense of security and stability. Of course, this doesn't mean the schedule should be rigid, but the general structure of the day helps the dog feel calmer and more confident. Interestingly, dogs read our emotions very well and often mirror them. If you are calm and happy, your dog is more likely to be calm and content too. Conversely, if you are constantly stressed or anxious, this can be transmitted to your pet. Therefore, taking care of your own emotional well-being is also taking care of your dog's happiness. To summarize, let's list again the 7 sure signs of a happy dog: relaxed body language, good appetite and healthy sleep, playfulness and energy, social openness, positive reaction to training, appropriate behavior at home, and desire for contact with the owner. If your dog demonstrates most of these signs, you can be sure it is truly happy beside you. Remember that canine happiness largely depends on us, their owners. Regular physical exercise appropriate to age and breed, mental stimulation, quality nutrition, veterinary care, and of course your love and attention. These are the main components of a happy dog's life. How does your dog express its emotions? What signs of happiness do you notice in your pet? Perhaps your dog has some special ways to show that it is content with life? Share your observations in the comments. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss new episodes about how to make your 4-legged friends' lives even happier and more harmonious. In the next episode, we will reveal the secrets of effective communication with your dog that will help you become an even better friend and companion for it. Until new meetings and happy moments with your pets.